Alright, so Moonshot AI released Kimi K2.5 a few days ago, and I have been testing it pretty heavily. This is an open source model with weights you can actually download and run by yourself, and it genuinely competes with many closed source models on many benchmarks. Let me explain what this model actually is. Kimi K2.5 is built on their previous K2 model, but they continue training it with approximately 15 trillion additional tokens. These are mixed visuals and text tokens because this thing can handle both images and text natively. And the architecture is a mixture of expert setup. Total parameters are around 1 trillion, but only 32 billion gets activated for any given task. So you get the benefit of a massive token without needing to run all trillion parameters at once. Context window goes up to 256 tokens, which is pretty solid for most real-world applications. There are 4 modes available. Instant mode is for quick responses. Thinking mode spends more time reasoning through complex problems. Agent mode handles workflows with multiple steps and tool usage. And there is also Agent Swarm, which can coordinate up to 100 sub-agents working in parallel. What really caught my attention is how well this handles front-end coding tasks. The model was trained with vision and language together, so it can look at UI designs or watch videos of interactions and then write code to recreate what it sees. This is where I wanted to really put it through its paces. So for first test, I want to build a point of sale dashboard. I opened up Kimi and switched to thinking mode because I wanted it to really consider the layout and functionality. My prompt was pretty straightforward. I said create a modern point of sale dashboard with real-time sales tracking, inventory management, top products display, and revenue charts. Make it responsive and include animations. First, the model started thinking through the structure. It decided on a sidebar navigation, a main stats area with cards showing daily revenue, total transactions, and active customers. Then a chart section with sales trend and category breakdowns. And finally an inventory table at the bottom. The thinking process may be 30 seconds. Then it started generating code. The output was a single HTML file with embedded CSS and JavaScript. No separate files, everything built together, which is actually convenient for quick testing. When I opened the file, the layout was clean. The sidebar had icons and labels for different sections. The stats card had subtle gradient backgrounds and showed number with smooth counting animations when the page loads. The revenue chart was interactive, built with chart.js. You can hover over data points and see exact values. So it felt like something you would actually use in production with maybe some minor tweaks. But I wanted to compare it with another model to see if Kimi K2.5 was actually better or if it was just getting lucky. So I took the exact same prompt and ran it through Gemini 3 Pro thinking mode. So you can see Gemini output was functional but noticeably different in quality. The layout worked and it had the same basic components. Stats card, charts, inventory table, but the execution felt rushed. The color choices were more generic, just default blues and grays. Side by side, Kimi K2.5 versions looked like it came from an experienced front-end developer, but Gemini's looked more like a functional prototype. Both worked, but K2.5 has better user experience and everything is pretty smooth. Alright, next I wanted to try a SaaS landing page because that's a common use case, whether the model understands modern web design trends. I stayed in thinking mode for K2.5 and wrote a detailed prompt. The prompt specified a landing page for a AI-powered project management tool. I wanted a hero section with a gradient background and animated elements, a feature section highlighting key capabilities, a pricing table with 3 tiers, customer testimonial with photos, and a footer with links and a newsletter sign up. K2.5 spent about 40 seconds in thinking mode this time. I could see it's planning out the sections, considering the visual hierarchy, thinking about animations and transitions. The result was honestly really good. The hero section had a smooth gradient background that shifted slightly as you moved your mouse. Very subtle but effective. The headline text was large and bold. The code quality was clean too. Proper HTML5 semantic tags, CSS were organized and used custom properties for colors so you could easily theme it. Now one thing I noticed is K2.5 is particularly strong at implementing scroll triggering animation and interactive layouts. This comes from how it was trained with vision and code together. It understands not just what things should look like, but how they should behave when users interact with them. After seeing these results, I wanted to understand the benchmarks better. On coding tasks, K2.5 scored 76.8% on SWE Bench Verified. That's competitive with Cloud Opus 4.5 at 80.9% and GPT 5.2 at 80%. For an open source model, that's really solid. On vision tasks, it gets 78.5% on MMU Pro. Math reasoning on AEME 2025 shows 96.1%. On HLE, which tests language and reasoning, it scores 30.1 without tools and 50.2 with tools enabled. That actually beats DeepSeek v3.2, which gets 40.8 with tools. The vision benchmarks are interesting because they show how well the multimodal training worked. On MMU Pro, K2.5 beats Quen 3VL, which scored 69.3%. On OCR Bench, it gets 92.3, which is higher than GPT 5.2's 80.7%. For document understanding on OmniDoc Bench, it scores 88.8%. What this means practically is the model can look at images, understand what's in them, reason about visual elements, and then write code or generate text based on that understanding. The coding with vision feature is not just a gimmick, it's backed by strong benchmark performance. Now let me talk about how you can actually use this model because there are several options depending on your needs. The easiest way is through Kimi.com, which is their web interface. You can sign up for free and start using it immediately. They give you credits to test all the different modes. The interface is clean and straightforward. You pick your mode, type your prompt, and it generates responses. For the coding example I showed, I literally just used the web interface. If you want API access, there are a few routes. The official API is at platform.moonshot.ai. You sign up, get an API key, and you can make requests programmatically. The pricing is 60 cents per million input token and $3 per million output tokens. That's roughly 10% of what Cloud Opus cost. Another option is using OpenRouter, which is an aggregator service. They support K2.5 so you can access it through their unified interface. This is useful if you are already using OpenRouter for other models because you can switch between different providers without changing your integrations. You can also use KiloCode, which gives you access to various models including K2.5. For developers who want more control, there is a Kimi Code, which is their CLI tool. This thing is actually pretty capable. It works directly in your terminal and integrates with VS Code, Cursor, Z, and other editors. It's open source, so you can check the code or modify it if needed. And if you want to run the model locally, that's possible too, but you need serious hardware. The full model is 1 trillion parameter. Someone tested running it on two M3 Ultra machines using MLX and got about 22 tokens per second. That required roughly 350 GB of memory per machine. So unless you have access to high-end hardware, local deployment probably is not practical. The context window is 256 tokens across all access methods. That's enough for most applications. You can fit large documents, multiple code files, extend conversation, or detailed prompts without hitting limits. On long context benchmarks, K2.5 scores 61% on long bench v2 and 70% on AA LCR, so it actually utilizes that full context well. The license is modified MIT, which is fairly impressive. You can use it commercially with some restrictions. Being open source with available weights is a big advantage. Benchmarks are just one thing, but real-world usage is what matters. For coding tasks, especially front-end work, K2.5 perform really well. For vision tasks, it's competitive with the best closed source models. Alright, so that's it from the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next video.